hurry up and wait. Welcome to the Maria Sanchez Show on KADYTV.com. Thank you so much for watching. Our mission, about the county, by the county, for the county. Anything that we can do to help promote good news as much as possible, but stories that you'd like us to uncover or events you'd like us to promote or participate in, that's what we're here for. We're responsive to the needs of the residents of Ventura County. So, to that end, we have Bob Worthley in studio with us. Bob is our Crime Stoppers correspondent. Bob visits with us every Monday because on Tuesday morning, the 10 Most Wanted, if there are 10, get published in the Ventura County Star, and we're working with Bob, with Crime Stoppers, with the Star to help get the word out about who's out there that needs to be known about. So
Absolutely.
Bob, again, thank you for taking the time to visit with us. I can't tell you how much your commitment to the community means to all of us, and talk about fitting right down our alley, looking to make this place a better place to live. And just briefly, if somebody's new to the program, let them know, our viewers know, how is it that these folks that you're going to speak about today, this afternoon, get onto this list?
Well, there are thousands of them, Maria. First of all, thanks for the opportunity. I really
welcome.
appreciate it. We've got to get the word out.
Right.
And getting the word out does result in arrests.
Yeah.
And that's evidenced by the rewards that we've been paying off. There are literally thousands of wanted people probably in the county if you look at all the wants and the warrants. But in our case here, what we do is we go to law enforcement and they give us their names, the ones that they want us to run every week. And what we've been doing lately is we've been running about 4 that come out of the fugitive detail from the Sheriff's Department, possibly something from one of the police departments, and we've been running a couple from parole, California Department of Corrections. And that's what we have today. We have a total of 6 that we run every week, 2 from parole, 4 from other ways. So they come from law enforcement. That's their choices, not our choices. We don't question the choices, but we go right up until press time to validate that the warrants are still valid, and bam, they go up on our website. They're going to go through KDTV, and they're going to go in the paper.
Perfect. So we're hitting 1, 2, and 3, if you will, in that regard. So if you miss our broadcast, you can also always log on later, especially because you'll read Tuesday morning in the Star and see the pictures that we're sharing that you've been so kind to give us the opportunity to share. But if they wanted to know more information about a particular person, log on to KADYTV.com or Crime Stoppers.
Ventura County Crime Stoppers.org.
And then you'll get the details.
That's correct.
So let's go. Are we going to go, is there a least most wanted to the most wanted? Like, does it go 6 to 1, or how does that work?
Today I did it alphabetical.
Okay, I didn't know. Is there a rhyme or reason? I'm glad you said that. Okay.
But probably the 2 most are at the top 2.
Okay,
so,
all right. They just so happen to have.
Sure.
All right, so lay it on us.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay, we have, first of all, Johnny Garcia. I'm going to have a little extra information with him, too.
Okay.
Johnny Garcia is Hispanic. He's 46, 5'9", 160, black hair, brown eyes, tattoos of Brandy Joe on his chest, Colonia Chiques on his right forearm, and he's wanted for a failure to appear warrant for being under the influence of drugs and a parole warrant for absconding. So he's on parole. And I want to mention that prisoners on parole, they remain under the legal custody of the Department of Corrections, and they are subject at any time to be returned to the prison enclosure. But I'll give you a little background in this guy.
I'd love to know what absconding
He took off.
Oh, I thought he absconded with something or someone.
No.
Okay.
But he has this active failure to appear warrant for UI drugs. He's had some prior convictions, just to give you an idea. He's had attempted murder. He's had a couple of robberies, an 82 weapons possession and domestic violence in 93, car theft, switchblade knife, silencer, suspended license, and on and on and on.
A busy boy.
So he's a busy boy. So this gives you an idea of the type of person that we're featuring here.
Okay.
He's the first one.
Okay.
Okay. And I'm looking around. There's another screen over here.
Yeah.
Gabriel Morales, He's Hispanic. He's 22, 140 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes, parole warrant for absconding. Gabriel Morales. It's amazing. He's only 22 years old. He went to prison on unlawful sex with a minor. He's on parole. For whatever reason, he's not required to register as a sex offender. He was paroled in 2009 and never reported to his agent of record. He's from the Thousand Oaks, Newberry Park area. He has a local criminal record that only begins in about 2007. And we can only look, of course, at the public records. We have nothing in here that's exclusively in the police records because for us to give that would be illegal. But the information I'm providing here is information that anybody can go right up on the internet with his date of birth and name and get it right from the Ventura County Court record. So everything we have here is a matter of public records. But see, unlawful sex with a minor, contributing to the delinquency of a minor, UI drugs. So it gives you a little idea of his background and think he's only 22 years old.
Mm-hmm. So number three?
Number three. Number three is Maria Guadalupe Ruiz. She's Hispanic, 31, 4'10", 110 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She's wanted for violation of probation warrant for sales of drugs and child endangerment. And next we have Siavash Salamanzadeh. He's white, 26 years old, 5'7", 130, black hair, brown eyes, failure to appear warrant for conspiracy to commit a crime and petty theft. And next, we have Daniel Joseph Soto. He's Hispanic, 48, 5'10", 170, black hair, brown eyes, violation of probation warrant for drug possession. And last, we have Sergio Aziel Torres. That's Torres, also known as Sergio Torres Gonzalez. He's 27, Hispanic. He's 5'10", 250, black hair, brown eyes, and he's wanted for a violation of probation warrant for possession of drugs.
Now, there are rewards involved, correct?
Right.
And as you explained to us in prior segments, that the rewards are based on a certain kind of point system about what they've done and how long they've been wanted and that sort of thing.
Well, first of all, what do we do if we know where one of them is, maybe, and then get into the reward? You want me to do it that way?
Mm-hmm.
If you see one of these guys, we have 1-800-222-TIPS, that's 8477, and that's a bilingual call center. And if somebody calls into the call center, the call taker there puts it down in a dispatch log, and will immediately have the information to us, and a few of us monitor 24/7, and within 1 minute we can have it to any law enforcement agency in the county. But if you have one of these guys in sight, you're a lot better off just to call 911 and say you saw these guys, it's Crime Stoppers wanted, they'll log it, and you'll still be eligible for a reward. The second way is to get on our website, VenturaCountyCrimeStoppers.org, and click on the web tips. And if you click on the web tips, it'll bring up a form. You can bring it up in Spanish or English. And at your leisure, you can write down the information on the tip. What information do you have you want to provide? And you push the transmit button. It's the same thing. It'll get to us 24/7, and within 1 minute, we will have it to the respective law enforcement agency. And in the case of a parolee, we will also have the information to the California Department of Corrections and the appropriate parole agent. I mentioned also on the web tips, we have two-way communications. So if we want to go back and ask a question, we can ask the question. And that's the same way we also inform you if you get a reward. And the third way is you text busted to crimes. That brings up text messaging, and we can also have two-way communication. It works the same way.
And this is completely and totally guaranteed, confidentially, anonymous information.
That's correct.
On the person providing the information.
That's correct.
And the reward too. You have ways that you can get the funds to the person without their name being known. It's in terms
We
of
do.
cash or whatever.
We do.
Now, I noticed last week that there was a $1,000 reward for each one of the ones that you suggested.
Well, it said up to 1,000.
Up to 1,000.
It's up to 1,000.
Okay.
And that's and we go up to 1,000 because we pay based upon arrest, not upon arrest or indictment, but not necessarily upon conviction, because conviction sometimes takes a year away. So our reward comes up a lot earlier. See, that's a big difference.
Oh, I'm glad you clarified that.
Yeah, and I'll get to the earlier question on, how is the reward calculated. First of all, how does the person know that they have a reward? Well, once we've met with law enforcement and they've validated that one of our tips has led to an arrest, then we will then meet with law enforcement officers. They will submit a recommendation. But that recommendation is based upon a series of factors, among those being what risk was there to the informant that give us the reward. It's obvious this guy's inside in a gang or something and probably putting himself out there. What was the crime? How many crimes were committed? How many people were arrested based upon the tip? So all of these are put together into a sheet, and we have predetermined points. So we can total up the points and then go on a graduated scale to say this guy's up to so many points, it's worth maybe $400, $500. A bank robber, you got a couple of bank robberies here, $1,000. So it's objective as we can be,
Right.
is how it's done. So if they call into the call center will say, hey, call back in a week, and we will let you know if a reward has been paid. They can follow up. If it's on the web or text messaging, we get back to the confidential informant the same way and let them know that a reward has been paid. Then we inform them how they're able to pick up the reward. And they will be directed to a specific location and where they will go and utilize the tip number and a PIN that we may provide. And with that information, they will be paid in cash, no questions asked, no identification. And that's how it's done.
And even though you're doing cross-communication with them, you are not recording the phone number that you're texting to or the IP that you're emailing or IMing to.
That's correct.
Right. So
Very
that's
sophisticated encryption software is
Right.
what we use.
And I'm sure that involves a leap of faith a little bit, right? But that's why I'm going to keep pounding on that message that you do everything. You do not want to know who the informant is. All you want to know is the information.
That's correct.
Right.
And we have no known case where an informant's confidentiality has been compromised other than when they specifically want to. Because sometimes people will come in through Crime Stoppers and say, hey, I'm the wife or the husband and so forth, and they do let us know. But even then, we don't actually forward that information to law enforcement if we can possibly avoid it, because confidentiality is really our main suit. We have a lot of people that give us information that lead to arrests, and they don't even claim the rewards. They're not after the reward. They want the person to be arrested.
Wow. Well, we want to thank you again for being a part of the program and for allowing us to be able to broadcast this news. And while it isn't good news per se, it is good news if the community gets involved in getting these folks off the street and out of the mainstream population so that we can continue to live this bucolic existence that is known as Ventura County.
Oh yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, and we've got Robert Worthley as our in-studio guest. Every Monday afternoon he visits with us talking about Crime Stoppers and the top most wanted in the county. And again, we will link back and forth between the sites, and thank you again for your time.
Thank you, Maria. Appreciate it.
And thank you for watching the Maria Sanchez Show on KADYTV.com.